Hello everyone. Today we have some breaking news with Ripple XRP. So if you're watching this video, you want to watch all the way through because we're going to take a listen to the president of Ripple, this lady right here, Monica Long, speak for about 5 minutes about the future of cryptocurrency in 2023, regulation, the Ripple lawsuit, what are her expectations with the XRP cryptocurrency, and much more. So this is extremely important if you own XRP or if you own cryptocurrency in general, because this lawsuit with XRP is going to affect the entire crypto community. It's not just going to affect XRP. So if you do not own XRP, still this video is extremely important. And also, the CTO of Ripple, this guy right here, David Schwartz, said how the SEC is basically making rules up as they go, and they're attacking Coinbase now. They're attacking so many other crypto companies, so this is extremely important. Now, before we get into today's video, let us take a look at some XRP headlines, because XRP whales right now are amassing over 500 million XRP coins as they are expecting a final verdict on the lawsuit pretty soon. So maybe the whales know something that the small fish do not know, and that's why they're buying XRP right now before the announcement of hopefully XRP winning. And what's really interesting is that when I go to Google and I type in world bridge currency, and I want all of you to try this after this video, type in literally world bridge currency, you will see that XRP shows up as the first result. I don't know if this company paid to be number one, but this is wow. So like, this is not fake. Type in world bridge currency on Google and this is what you will see. But now, what does a Ripple victory in the long-running SEC lawsuit mean for crypto markets? Well, it means that the crypto will pump, because we will finally have some clarity on what is cryptocurrency, and the SEC will not be able to attack any crypto company that they want. So this will be very good if Ripple wins, but if we lose, then the entire crypto community will be affected negatively. Now, Ripple's president is hopeful for an SEC win against the SEC. When will the verdict be finally announced? Well, that is what we're going to speak about right now in just a second. So XRP year to date has been doing very well. Actually, it's been holding up and it's been slowly moving up. So what is going to happen next with XRP? That is what we're going to speak about. Tap the like button real quick and subscribe if you have not yet already. And now let us get into the main point of today's video. So this lady right here, Monica Long, she's the president of Ripple. So let us listen to what she has to say about cryptocurrency, XRP, Ripple, and much more. Sit back, relax, tap the like button, and enjoy.
With the SEC lawsuit, both Ripple and the SEC have filed our motions for summary judgment. So the decision now rests with the judge to make her decision. We're optimistic about having a positive resolution there sometime this year. Can you give us any?
So she's expecting for Ripple to hopefully win this lawsuit sometime this year. Now, at first it was Q1 of 2023, then Q2. Now it's being pushed back to the end of this year. So hopefully we finally get a verdict by the end of this year, and it's not pushed back to 2024, 2025, because that would be terrible.
Any further timeline? Because it seems the action in the XRP token seems to assume something's around the corner.
Unfortunately, we don't know. It's really just with the judge. It's up to her.
And still hopeful that it will be on the side of Ripple at this point?
Very hopeful, yes.
What are the implications if it doesn't?
The implications if the decision
goes the way of the SEC.
We think that that's very unlikely, considering, by our view, both the facts and the law are on our side. In terms of broader picture, what's happening in the U.S. on the regulatory front, we're seeing action through enforcement versus setting clear rules and regulation, which is what all of us in the industry really desire.
So on that regulatory front as well.
So basically she's expecting for XRP to win because the SEC is acting through enforcement and not through guiding. Because we all know, like, what happened with Coinbase, for example. Just a few days ago, the SEC has been suing Coinbase, or gave them a Wells notice, I should say. They didn't really sue them yet, but Coinbase is one of the most regulatory friendly crypto companies in the United States. They have been trying to do everything correctly. They've worked with the SEC. They spoke to the SEC. They've been trying to get guidance from the SEC, but the SEC still is trying to sue Coinbase. So like, It's crazy. So that's why she's expecting that Ripple will win. And let's listen to what she has to say now about the price of XRP.
Well, we are here in France, and France is really trying to push itself to become a key crypto hub, not just here in Europe, but globally as well. So as you look at what's happening in Europe with countries like France and Switzerland trying to create sort of crypto-friendly environments versus the US and the SEC, which is very heavy on the enforcement side at the moment, as a business, is the US falling behind?
We think so. We think so. And so you raise a great point. Europe is really emerging as a leader in terms of setting really clear regulations and rules that allow crypto companies and also traditional finance to embrace crypto. MICA, the set of rules.
And that's why we're seeing a lot of crypto companies set up shop outside of the United States. A lot of crypto investors, crypto YouTubers, people in crypto do not want to be in the United States because they are not making it crypto friendly. If anything, they want a war against cryptocurrency. So that is why they are also pushing great companies like Ripple out of the United States. And what makes it even worse is that we all know what happened with FTX last year, and the SEC and the United States government loved FTX. And FTX turned out to be a scam. So like the scams, the United States government is working with the scams, but then the good crypto companies are trying to push away. Absolutely mind-blowing.
Set forth by 27 countries who've come together to set a common framework, which is remarkable when, you know, the U.S. has one government and they can't get their act together.
And what does that mean ultimately then for Ripple's business expansion? Are you looking at sort of hiring in Europe here? Are you looking at expanding offices here in Europe as a result?
We are, yes. So we have.
Yes, they're expanding in Europe, and it's not just Europe, it's also Asia. I see Africa now on the come up, the Middle East with Dubai. It's basically the rest of the world except the United States. Even El Salvador, just yesterday, the president of El Salvador came out and said that he's putting 0% tax on income, capital gains, on innovations like AI and cryptocurrency and technology. So even South America is trying to do better, but it seems like North America and the United States is the only country that is falling behind.
We have our hub in London, but we have 9 offices around the world, and we're growing our team primarily outside the U.S., which is where our business is. Last quarter, about 75% of our flagship product, the payment network, the flows were outside the U.S.
And what can you tell us then about that, some of that expansion here in Europe? The headcount specifically in certain countries, or sort of product expansion?
Both, absolutely. So we're continuing to hire even through this crypto winter, where we're seeing a lot of companies contract, because we've had a focus for, you know, since the beginning of Ripple 10 years ago. We've really been focused on solving real world problems and bringing utility to crypto. We've had we're in a good position to continue to grow the team. So we're hiring through our London office and also expanding our payment network throughout Europe.
Monica, what can we read into?
And that's actually a really good point, because Ripple has a lot of business outside of the United States. So even if we do lose, okay, I'm not saying that we will lose, but I'm saying worst case scenario, XRP and Ripple loses. Well, I believe XRP, yes, will maybe crash in price just right after the announcement is made, but then everything will be okay for XRP. Everything will be okay for Ripple, because over 75% of Ripple's business is outside of the United States, is with other countries, is with other institutions, not in America. So we will be fine, even though worst case scenario, let's say we lose, everything will be just fine.
To the big rally we have seen in Bitcoin this year and sort of the broader crypto markets, is this signaling optimism that this crypto winter is coming to an end? Are we at the early signs of a new bull run here?
It's hard to say when the winter will thaw exactly. I think what we're seeing is that crypto and Bitcoin, the industry in general, is here to stay, even in the wake of recent events with the U.S. banks.
And in terms of those collapses,
So I like her answer. She didn't say, oh yeah, the bull run is back to the moon. We're going to break all-time highs right now this year. I like her level-headed answer. She said it's hard to say. We don't really know. And that's kind of what I always tell you on this channel, to be ready for both cases. Let's say the bull run is back. Well, you'll make a lot of money because you're invested. Let's say the bull run is not here yet and the crypto winter gets stronger. Well, you will be ready because you have cash on the side. So I like her answer with that.
of US banks. What kind of fallout have you seen so far? You know, these were two key lenders to the industry and there are questions about whether there are other banks around the world that can pick up that slack, whether this is going to sort of cause even further damage in terms of funding to startups and the broader crypto ecosystem. What are the sort of potential implications there?
I think we're seeing some strong resilience in the crypto markets, considering those three banks, Silvergate, Signature, and Silicon Valley Bank, were three of the most crypto-friendly banks in the U.S. So we saw crypto effectively become unbanked in the U.S. overnight, shutting off those U.S. dollar on-ramps.
And honestly, the on-ramp and off-ramps being shut off, we don't really know the full effects of it yet. So that is another catalyst that could push us down a little bit more. So just keep that in mind.
In pretty quick order, we've seen that the industry not only persist but kind of revive itself, and now we're seeing new banks in the U.S. kind of come into the fray. The bigger question, though, is U.S. regulators' outlook. Some in the industry have called this choke point 2.0, where the U.S. government is taking action to sort of snuff out crypto, which is impossible. This is technology that the genie's out of the bottle; you can't put it back in. It's going to exist, so it's a question of which countries are going to embrace it and set forth rules that allow the industry to thrive. And I think that you're going to see the innovation leave the U.S.
And even though a lot of companies there was...
So it's impossible to basically cut off all the money from going into XRP and cryptocurrency. Yes, it's impossible, but it will still have an effect because the United States has one of the largest bases of crypto investors in the world. In terms of the amount of money invested in crypto through United States citizens, is number one in the world, I believe. So U.S. citizens, Americans, have so much money in cryptocurrency. So if America is starting this war against cryptocurrency, yes, it will have a short-term effect. But I agree with her. In the long term, it's impossible to shut off all of the on and off ramps with cryptocurrency. So it's a losing game in the end.
We'll start talking about decentralization and crypto as an alternative to traditional finance. It's still very clear that a lot of these companies rely heavily on the traditional banking system.
That's true. That there's I think an interlacing, and our vision at Ripple and what we've always talked about is that the way that blockchain and crypto can really make really modernize financial systems is by plugging into and working with traditional finance, not overturning it or disrupting it.
And in terms of the banking, there's a big lot of turmoil here in the banking sector at the moment. You work with financial institutions. Given that turmoil we are seeing, are they sort of turning away from your product at this point, given trying to sort of put out the fires elsewhere? Is this a bit of a pause in the industry in terms of adoption of your products?
We're not seeing that. We're continuing to grow, so we're coming to a close on our Q1, but even still, we're continuing to see growth.
So there you have it. Ripple is continuing to grow all around the world. They are going strong. XRP is doing extremely well, also according to the president of Ripple, and that is why I am still extremely bullish on XRP and cryptocurrency.